Hello, my fellow countrymen. This is Brian Mubvumbi, the President of Democracy Restoration Party, DRP of Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm recording this video on the backdrop of a failed political system of our country. What I want to address here is a single issue that is taking center stage in our politics. The issue of denial. What is breaking my heart, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow countrymen, is that we have hundreds of people that are trying to cross flooded rivers like Limpopo River that separates South Africa from Zimbabwe. A lot of people, including ladies with babies on their backs, they are forming human chains and step into the water that are infested with crocodiles, risking their lives to be swept away by the water or to be attacked and consequently to be eaten by crocodiles. Now, what breaks my heart is that the moment we want to talk about it, which is the plight of the people of Zimbabwe, then we are labeled as people that are anti-government. We are labeled that we are people that are not democratic. We are labeled as enemies of the state. Now, at what point do we become the enemies of the state? People are being abducted day in, day out. Extrajudicial killings, including the previous 2018 election. Now we are marching towards another election of 2023. So, if we are not allowed to talk about it, then who shall talk about it? Who shall be concerned to raise the flag that something must change, something must give in our political spaces? Ladies and gentlemen, it is a fact that so many people have recorded videos about our plight. The police officers in Zimbabwe, they beat up people anytime, everywhere. Recently, a police officer did beat up a lady who had a child by the back, and the child died. And the media reports that no, there was nothing like that took place. Some are suggesting the video was not authentic. It breaks my heart to realize that the powers that be, those amongst us who are controlling the levers of power, they are telling us that there are no problems in Zimbabwe. The golden question is, if these are not problems, then what are problems? If the unemployment rate of our country is over 90%, then what are problems? You see, I'm from a party called DRP. I'm the president of Democracy Restoration Party, DRP. At the moment, it's safe to say we should not even talk about politics anymore. That includes political parties. We need to come together as the people of Zimbabwe to do one thing, to fight ZANU-PF. Because ZANU-PF is a cost to our existence. What further breaks my heart is the idea that we are the newsmakers in the world. It's like people watching a movie. Zimbabwe is turned out to be a movie story. When people don't watch the police brutality in the news, then they have nothing to report. The news houses, they make money out of our misery. News houses, they are making a living out of the perilous times that we are living in Zimbabwe. But ladies and gentlemen, enough is enough. This is now the time to come together. We need to come together. Every Zimbabwean must understand what I'm talking about. This is the time to come together, irrespective of our political affiliation, irrespective of our ethnic extractions, especially the people that are in the diaspora. We need to realize that the people in Zimbabwe are as good as the people that are in prisons. Because when you are in prison, when you are in a prison, you don't choose when to sleep or when to wake up. You are controlled like someone who is controlling a remote. You don't eat what you want to eat in a prison. You don't go where you want to go in a prison. Zimbabwe tend to be such. This is no lie. When we complain, when we talk about it, then those of us in charge of the country will be quick to say they are trying to overthrow the government. They have falsified, ratified statutory instruments like Public Order and Security Act, POSA, which entails that you are not allowed to be talking to a group of persons without a police clearance. But Public Order and Security Act, which order are we trying to maintain when the unemployment rate of the country is over 90%? When people are forming human chains and step in flooded rivers like what is happening in Limpopo 2021 by the Beitbridge border post, ladies with babies on their backs trying to cross Limpopo, which is full of crocodiles, braving that sort of a situation. And yet our leaders, they've got the audacity to tell us that Zimbabwe is a very prosperous country. There are no problems. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a joke. This is not funny anymore. To profile a way forward, it is safe to say we need just but one thing. Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, the current president of the Republic of Zimbabwe, must resign. Whether legitimate or illegitimate, I actually don't care. Mnangagwa must resign and the entire cabinet be dissolved on the basis of failure. Leader Mnangagwa, let me address you to your conscience. You can facilitate your resignation, and we will always salute you. I'm recording this video with the full understanding of where you are coming from as a patriot, as a comrade, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now into the 2000s. We don't dispute your immense contribution. But let the truth be said truthfully. We give kudos where kudos are due. Currently, the center is no longer holding Mr. Mnangagwa. Your presidency and your leadership is not doing enough to propel us forward. Yes, there is movement, but the movement is negative. If we would roll back in time, more than 40 years ago, we were in a dispensation in which we were colonized by white settlers, predominantly from England, to be precise. Today in 2021, we are colonized by our fellow Africans, our fellow black counterparts, the people of color. I call it native colonization. But whether settler colonization or native colonization, it remains colonization. We condemn both. What is good right now is for the person of Emmerson Mnangagwa to resign and the entire cabinet be dissolved. Us from the Democracy Restoration Party, DRP, we are therefore asking sincerely and honestly for the resignation of Emmerson Mnangagwa. As the people of Zimbabwe, we had said at least by November 2020, our situation must change for the better. I'm fully aware that we are in the period of coronavirus. I'm aware of the ravages which coronavirus brings to mankind. But to be honest, it's nothing compared to what ZANU-PF has done to the people of Zimbabwe. The people of Zimbabwe, it's time for us to rise up. Demand our God-given right, the right of freedom, the right of assembly, the right of any political affiliation. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, His Excellency, must resign immediately. In closing, I want to call all God's people and all the people of Zimbabwe to exercise love and tolerance. We can do this. For all those who affiliate to ZANU-PF, we are not seeking to have punitive actions. We are not seeking to dehumanize the vanquish, but we seek to adjust our lives. Every man should be given an equal opportunity to feed his family. Every woman must be given an equal opportunity to be themselves. Every youth must be given an equal opportunity to have work at their disposal. Hakuna nyika yakadai. Vana ve Zimbabwe, tell someone who will tell someone that DRP a political party like no other. And all the leaders of Zimbabwe, let's unite. There is a number which you can contact us, and I urge all political leaders to contact us on that number, which is a South African number. The number is 0027 84 286 65 65. Thank you. Watch the space. DRP, Democracy Restoration Party, a party like no other. We shall leave no stone unturned. Thank you. God bless you.